Well, it's about time. We finally have some European League play to talk about, and boy, are we excited to do just that. What's up, everyone? It's Dave here alongside Diego and Aaron for A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. Plenty to unpack from the opening weekend and domestic league action too, so don't go anywhere. All right, what is up, guys? Our first show with games behind us this year.
Yes.
What a feeling. How we doing?
Feels official.
It
Very
does.
good.
It does feel official. I'm so happy just to be back and not have to worry about, Club World Cup or
Oh no,
all
things
these superfluous tournaments.
all the made up events.
I
are
know,
gone.
I
Go
know.
back to
So-
the real thing, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
other than the games themselves, how was your weekend, guys?
It was good. It wasn't as hot, man. It's cooling
No.
down now, and that is a plus, especially because you know our history here at the show. And being cool is one of the most important parts for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
And it is happening now.
And like I said, soon enough we'll be in sweatshirts and space heaters down here for the show. So we'll miss the 90-degree days.
Oh, 100%, my friend. But it's all right though. Let's get going with the real heat, which is this weekend match.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it. Our Friday curtain raiser, Liverpool hosting AFC Bournemouth. So Liverpool defending champions. Obviously, we have a supporters club here for Bournemouth. A 4-2 final. Liverpool did take all 3 points, but it didn't seem as easy as putting
Should have been
four
easy.
in.
Yeah.
Liverpool jumped on them early, 2 goals, and then just almost like a smash and grab. 2 goals from Antoine Semenyo brought things level, and it took just within the last couple minutes of the match from Chiesa and Salah to restore that 2-goal lead. So, Diego, what were your overall thoughts on that match?
Don't piss Semenyo off. That's my main take out of this. No, but Bournemouth looked good. I mean, yeah, it was a tough loss and everything, and they kind of slipped up at the end though. They got a little too overcautious, I want to say, or I don't know what happened. They just lost concentration a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm chalking that up to, again, like we talked about in the preview show, you've lost 3 of your back 4.
Yeah.
You've lost your goalkeeper. There are going to be bumps along the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But the thing is, Liverpool did too. Liverpool lost a lot of their starters, and they're playing.
I mean, they lost players, but because they brought in new players.
Yeah, well, that is
so they
very
lost.
true.
They lost
Yeah.
Lucho, but they brought in Florian Wirtz. They brought in Atikete. They brought in.
The replacements were just as good
Exactly.
as the ones.
Not and I don't mean this in a bad way, but not being poached like the Bournemouth players were.
That was
And then being forced last minute to try to cobble together a squad.
what do we get? Yeah. No, absolutely. So again, that's why I'm saying Bournemouth looks good. Semenyo looks like one of the leaders of this new Bournemouth per se.
I did just see, and I don't know what the source was, so I don't know how reliable it is, but Newcastle is looking potentially at an £80 million bid for Semenyo.
No, they cannot do that right now.
Well,
They can't do that.
if he wants to go, he's gonna go. If that's the release clause. Obviously they're probably trying to replace Alexander Isak. So lots of things, lots of moving parts still.
True.
We can talk about a whole nother topic of should the transfer window still be open once the season has started, but that is a story for another day.
Absolutely.
Aaron, you were there with us. Liverpool, Bournemouth. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I also found it funny, like to also roll back on what you said about the transfer window, was the fact that didn't Bournemouth just sign a Liverpool guy? Must have just switched.
Ben Doak. I believe it was official as of this morning. I did see, the just like we talked about with Jokic, the typical. I won't believe it until I see him in the press release with holding up the jersey or the scarf, and I did see that this morning. So, a dangerous player from Liverpool that could light the world on fire for Bournemouth in the style that Iraola plays. So,
I mean, what I'll take away from it is essentially Liverpool, you can chalk it up to a rough start, but Liverpool has shown that they might be a little worried in the back there defensively.
I will say, I was listening to a lot of the radio shows and podcasts over the weekend. No Ryan Gravenberch for them, and he almost single-handedly kind of kept that together last season. So I do think they missed him. Similar to a former Liverpool player in Fabinho, and similar to how City fell apart without Rodri.
Yeah.
So I do think we as the general fan may have underestimated that loss of him not being in the squad.
Yeah.
Overall, I was very pleasantly surprised with Bournemouth. I was expecting a pretty rough match when you take just the squad they have at home. Defending champions, opening the season, everything, going on with Diogo Jota, it's just, there was so much going into it. I thought Liverpool was just going to run rampant. And they did put in 4 goals. So there's that, but
Bournemouth did put up a fight.
Yeah. Bournemouth put up a fight much better than I expected. I mean, they're always going to, be there mentally, but I thought there were going to be a lot more miscommunications, a lot of errors. And to be frank, the third and fourth goals, in my opinion, are preventable. If this was this was mid-season form, that match probably ends 2-2.
Yeah, absolutely. They will be more cohesive and more concentrated towards the end.
And we have to also be careful, and this will probably be the theme of the entire month. We've been without league play for so long that we have to kind of temper our own thoughts and not put everything into this first match. Especially if you're an Arsenal fan.
Absolutely.
But no, we have to, we can't look too much into, this first match. I noticed a host of mental errors, miscommunications from across the league. So we have to kind of temper this a little bit and realize that, as more of these extra competitions fall in and multiple cups and this and that, it seems like the squads are given a little bit more of a summer break. And then, the downside of that is you're coming back not as cohesive with your squad. So, so that was that one. Let's just jump around briefly with some other, results, some surprising, some not so much. Spurs under Thomas Frank, 3-0 victory, 2 incredible goals, including maybe the goal of the year already from Richarlison. It was, I think I saw the stats on it, 17 consecutive passes. Every Spurs player touched the ball and finished with a quasi overhead kick from Richarlison. So, nice. Burnley in their first match back in the Premier League falls 3-0. Another new squad into the Premier League this year. Sunderland, a 3-0 victory over West Ham. And even though I just said it, a couple moments ago about not putting too much stock in match 1, I think West Ham is in trouble this year.
Oh, yeah. No, they did not look good at all.
I think it
was a replay of that.
Yeah, it has become an increasingly large hurdle for newly promoted sides to compete and stay up. I believe the last 2 years each, the new squads went right back down, but West Ham might buck that trend. They did not look good. And Graham Potter, I think, is going to have a short leash in, this fall, and just watch out in those first 2 international windows to see if he still has a job.
Yeah.
Saturday, we also had Brighton with a 1-1 draw against Fulham, a last gasp goal from Fulham to bring things level. Other than that, I thought Brighton looked pretty good. Man City, are they back? 4-0 win at Wolves. Goals from Reinders and
Holland.
Holland had 2, Reinders and the other new signing, Ryan Sharkey. So things are looking good again for City. Will they have what it takes to we talked about it, for the first time ever, they have a big chip on their shoulder. They're thought of as an underdog.
Exactly.
This could be very interesting for the Liverpools of the world, for Chelsea's of the world. Chelsea, meanwhile, drew with Crystal Palace.
0-0.
Crystal Palace.
And then the marquee match on Sunday, Man United hosting the Gunners. Arsenal with a Calafiori header off the first corner kick of the season for Arsenal, and that was the only goal of the match. We'll defer to Aaron here, although I was sitting right next to him upstairs. What were your thoughts on that one?
Well, I mean, first off, there's a lot of places that you don't want to see on day one, right? The Anfields, the Stamford Bridges,
right?
Obviously, Manchester United just is not something you kind of want to see on
we
opening
talked
night.
about that Saturday morning. It was. It doesn't matter where United is on the table. It doesn't matter. There's still, a little bit of that fear factor.
Correct.
And to Arsenal's credit, they looked good at times, looked not so good at times. But they got 3 points away from home.
Yeah, I'm glad because even Arteta stated that at the end of the game, they didn't play how they wanted.
Right.
So I'm hoping that they shake off the dust. Right. Again, they went away. They took the win.
Yep.
A lot of 13 times last season we were ahead and they ended up in tying. So let's hope that part is behind us and we start out next, we play Leeds at home. So we're hoping for a nice home showing.
Yep.
Absolutely. No, and you know what? Like you said, they show that willingness to keep the match going. It wasn't like last year that,
they didn't park the bus. They didn't say, okay, sit back.
Second half, they were just trying to start defending and just bunch themselves back. No, they still move the ball.
In fact, in the second half, Arteta brought on with a goal lead, brought on star forward Mikel Merino.
Yeah. We put him in the wrong spot.
But no,
and Aaron and I were joking during the game. Like, does he remember how to play in the back anymore? Like he has forgotten what it's like to be a defensive player. So
yeah.
But that seems a change of attitude. He brought a guy who can't keep just fold up and then keep attacking, keep the momentum going.
So again, you saw some a lot of decisions that had to be made in the game. Odegaard with 2 failed decisions that ended up falling the ball back over. Gyökeres, instead of putting it into the box, he decides to try and chip it, and obviously you saw it completely overshoots the box. Goes out of bounds, throw in for Man U. So there's a lot of stuff that's still being worked out there, but hopefully soon we'll get it.
The results are what counts at the end of the day. I mean, we know they got the team to fight for the top spots, but they need to get those results, especially when it counts. We'll see down the road when everybody else ties, if they can get that victory that pushed them ahead, and that will be the difference for them. That's what they need to do this year.
Listen, all I know is they got to be feeding these guys something different because Havertz, Calafiori, I don't know, they were skinny guys last season.
Yeah. On the flip side of things, United, obviously it looks terrible on paper.
Oh my God.
Opening weekend, a loss at home to one of your biggest rivals, Arsenal.
And the goal itself, just oh my God.
But I do gotta admit though that whenever Mbeumo got the ball, like you saw, they put perfect crosses to him.
Yeah.
Whenever he got the ball, he's ready to play. So I think Manchester United.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We obviously we were chatting in Discord with a lot of our Man United fans as well. Obviously there is such a low bar right now for United that it's tough not to exceed that. But I'm pretty bullish. I think United. I can't believe this is the way I'm framing this, but I think United will have a good year and finish in the top half of the table. And the fact that I'm saying that with United and it actually makes sense to me is just. As
we all agreed, the top of the table is starting to become harder and harder.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, again, last season, halfway through the season, we saw teams that we never even thought we would see.
That were going to be there. Absolutely. No, you're totally right on that one. And for that matter alone, we're going to have to see what the consistency of these teams that were in the top of the league is now. And how the big team or the big 6 are going to respond to this. Because, Tottenham started well. Arsenal started well. We need Man United to start delivering too. Whether it is good on it looks good on paper or not, you need to get those results now.
Yep.
You need to get your team confidence up right now.
Yeah. I mean, and Spurs is another one. I've watched it. I watched Frank with Brentford for a number of years.
Yeah.
He seems to have something to get more out of these players and out of this squads than, the sum is greater than the whole of the parts.
Yeah.
So to give him a better quality squad with Tottenham, again,
Sky's the limit.
the sky is the limit. He's got them.
Let's hope that's not the case. But I mean,
Listen, I did get a little bit of a stat here from our friend over in England. Apparently, Arsenal's results versus the Big Six since May of 2023, 22 games,
Okay.
13 wins, 9 draws, no losses, 44 goals, 20 goals conceded.
That is the type of stat that, obviously we can't look at any of these in a vacuum, but stats like that is what wins you a league.
Yeah.
Or keeps you
I also saw, I think across the last 3 seasons combined, Arsenal have the most points.
Yeah.
Again, they can't seem to put it together all in one season to win the league itself.
I mean, you saw a lot. Like as soon as we got that goal from point A to point Z, I'm sitting there like, oh, here comes the penalty.
Oh yeah,
here comes we're gonna give it up somehow.
Yeah.
And until that final whistle blew, I
don't know if that's more a reflection on Arsenal or on you,
it's on Arsenal. I gotta say.
And the referees, I'm not even gonna lie, the referee.
I did see that penalty shout for United late in the game. I don't think it's a stone cold penalty, but if it were called,
I mean,
I don't think it was. I don't think it would have been a bad call. Let me put it that way. I don't necessarily think it was the VAR and conspiracy theorists, what they're all making it out to be. But I do think there is a shout for that to have been a penalty.
But that's the thing. Those type of calls were the ones that were breaking on Arsenal's demise, basically. They were never breaking in their favor. Every doubtful call like that we can say, it might have, or I would have been okay if you call it either way.
Right.
Those calls were always
let's be honest. Nobody wants to hear this, but in the grand scheme of things, as the year progresses, for all intents and purposes, that all will even out. Again, nobody wants to hear that when United is now bottom of the table, having lost at home to Arsenal, where they could have gotten a draw. Yep. And I could have gotten my Bruno goal, but yeah. So I totally get it. I think the United fans probably can and maybe should feel a little bit aggrieved by that non-call, but from an objective perspective, I'm not going to lose my mind over that not being a penalty.
Again, like you said, first game of the season.
Yeah,
everybody's on edge.
All right, let's hop over into continental Europe.
Actually, before we do that, I do want to thank everybody that showed up this weekend.
The crowds were great. We had probably 15, 20 people for every day for each single match.
So that alone, thank you very much, everybody. And let's just keep on coming. Yep. Let's keep it going. Everybody, just bring your friends. Let's build this up.
Yes, and one of the larger crowds we had, and if you saw it on social media, we did share a little bit of it, was Barcelona's opening match at Mallorca. And what a strange match that was.
Oh, you got to feel for the Mallorca fans at one point.
Oh my God.
I mean, they're hosting Lamal and crew.
Yep.
And they give up an early goal to Rafinha. Off a great service.
Oh my God!
And then that second goal and for those of you that did not see it, a shot was blocked by the Mallorca defender with his head, and he immediately went down.
Yep.
And the referee immediately puts whistle to mouth, but doesn't blow the whistle. Yeah. And to be completely honest, I don't think I'm wrong, but I don't know if La Liga has any different rules on that.
No, they do.
Compared to that's what I mean. I don't know if they have different rules compared to the Premier League. What every league I've seen, whether it's MLS, international play, Premier League, suspected head injury, doesn't matter where the ball is, you stop the game. The referee did not do so. It looked like some of the Mallorca players stopped. But
Yeah.
to their
Yeah,
credit,
the
some of them
goalkeeper
continued to
himself,
play through the whistle.
absolutely. I mean,
Um,
if you notice, the guy who scored the goal took about 2 seconds to kick it because he himself.
even
was
some of the
"All right, he's
Barca
on the
players,
ground,"
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
"Oh my
yeah.
Yeah,
God."
so Ferran Torres did wind up scoring that
Yeah.
second goal. Combine that with within the first half hour, a double yellow card, red card,
So bad.
and a straight red card for a studs up tackle into the goalkeeper,
into
which
the goalkeeper's face, dude.
obviously,
Oh.
yeah, by law, absolutely, red
Yeah.
card 8 days a week. Obviously, I you don't know players' intent. I don't think there was any intent to hit or injure the goalkeeper, but
you
the
need
rules
to
are
have
the
that
rules.
presence of mind.
Absolutely.
As a player,
I mean,
you have to.
But despite this, the thing is that if you actually read like some of the articles about the game, the Barcelona coach actually was more ashamed of how Barcelona
Yes,
didn't play.
I did read that.
Mallorca
I did see Flick talking
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
What is it? Mallorca put up such a good defense come after those. It was almost impossible. I mean, yes, Jamal got the gift goal at the end,
Yep.
right off the left foot, but Mallorca put up such a defense that
Yes.
it could have been 6-0.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
totally
I'm
makes
realistic. That's what we were talking about even at halftime. It's 11v9. You're already up 2, and you're Barcelona. Like,
You need to put it.
Yeah.
You
I
need to
was-
run that score as much as you can. But that is the difference. I mean, I don't know if you notice now that we're gonna see more Spaniard football here, different leagues. Although it's a 2-horse race in Spain, all the other teams are capable to put up a hell of a fight.
yeah,
Are they gonna lose? Yes, they're gonna lose to Madrid. Yes, they're gonna lose to Barcelona. But they are going to fight. They're going to fight to the very last minute. It's not like in England that, once you start running the score, you just kind of go.
Yeah.
No, Spain is a whole different beast when it comes to their soccer. Their soccer is more going through the middle instead of going all the way out to the sides and just run.
Got a feel for that kid though, man. That was like, that they kept. For
That
those of you
was
that don't
great.
know, they kept showing a kid on the broadcast that was just in tears. You can
Oh,
imagine it's
God,
probably his first Barcelona game
Ever.
at home to Mallorca. It was his favorite team, and it was just, oh man, he was in
Yes.
tears by halftime.
and the lip readers definitely caught some Spanish language curses as well.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in La Liga, Real Madrid plays tomorrow. That's Tuesday. And Espanyol at home did beat Atletico. So
Yes.
right off the bat, Atleti drops points. They come home empty-handed. Wonderful Julian Alvarez goal off a free kick.
My God.
For the American fans, Johnny Cardoso did play the first half only. He came off at halftime. So some interesting things there. But if Madrid doesn't get all 3 against Osasuna tomorrow, right off the bat for Barcelona to be getting a padded lead like that, it could spell trouble for the rest of the league. So.
Yeah, Aaron, I was telling Aaron, I think the half a horse of this season is going to be Athletic Bilbao. It's not going to be Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, for those of you watching, I have a joke that I'm a fan of soccer, but when it comes to La Liga, I feel like it's a 2.5 horse race.
Yeah.
It's always Barcelona, Madrid, and some
And
other
somebody
team.
And then, whether it's Atleti, whether it was that year that Girona had a couple years ago, Sevilla every once in a while, Athletic Bilbao the last couple of years has been up there. So yeah, it'll be interesting, but there is certainly some value in the point that you make, Aaron.
Yeah.
All right, so that is going to do it for our week abroad. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for some local MLS action. All right, guys?
Cheers.
All right, welcome back to A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. We are back better than ever. First weekend in the books for the European leagues, but now it's time for the domestic action. 100 miles to home, our coverage of all things local soccer, and both MLS teams were in action. Red Bulls hosting one of their rivals, Philadelphia Union, on the heels of actually losing to Philly in the U.S. Open Cup. And Red Bulls take a 1-0 victory to, potentially put themselves in a playoff run. Let me just check.
I think Union has the best or one of the best records right now.
Yeah,
So
there's-
Yes.
Union
good
is
result.
second place in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, so
Um,
that'll at least give the Red Bulls a little.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Dylan
it's first time
Neal
that
is
both of them win.
74th minute goal, only 3 shots on target between both teams. So I'll be honest, I did not watch the match.
Should get Pair in here.
We should. Our local Philly fan
Apparently,
from
yes, the Englishman turned Philly fan.
Oh my God.
it's amazing what a woman will do to you, you know.
Yes, yeah.
Listen, love has no boundaries, my friend.
I don't know if Aaron bumped into he's married now, so ladies in the show, just keep your
Calm
distance.
down right now.
But if Aaron were to meet a woman who is a diehard Tottenham fan, is that a deal breaker?
It's a deal.
100%.
And rightfully so.
There is no meeting that family, no? Oh my God. No, well, now your friend is going to just as hard of a fan base with Philadelphia people.
Yeah.
So
So
listen, he was already treated to an Eagles win.
there you go. Spoiled.
He's got to calm down on the United States stuff. Like,
So as it stands, Red Bulls are currently in 10th in a 9-team playoff run in the East. They're sitting on 39 points with 27 matches played. And across the river, NYCFC did host Nashville SC last night. I was there. I took my my youngest daughter, for her first professional game.
Oh, how'd it go?
It started rough, and an early goal from Nashville. They were down 1-0, and then in the 40th or so minute, I believe Andres Pereira scored, and then immediately after that, the sky started to open up. The players and benches cleared the stadium. We were all, standing around the concourse for about an hour, and not to get off topic, but I was very proud of my girls in the hot weather and with nothing to do other than
they just kept themselves cool.
my youngest daughter was doing laps around the concourse looking for, in her words, pigeon butts. So we were doing some bird watching in the
Nice.
stadium while we waited for the match to resume, and they did. And I was hoping, obviously, rules are rules, but they resumed the match after about an hour to play 5 minutes of the first half. And I was hoping, you know what? Maybe
Call
both
it a
coaches
day and
agreed,
start it out.
and no,
Start
just
it out.
you don't need, yeah, exactly. You don't
Start it
need halftime. You just had it for an hour.
Yeah.
And from a competitive and health standpoint, you've had these guys now
Cold.
off for an hour.
Yeah.
Then they come back on for a 10-15 minute warm up, and then you're going to go back into
Yeah,
the
that
locker
doesn't
room for
help.
15
That
minutes.
doesn't
So
help
I
anybody.
thought maybe they would, have both managers agree on just flipping sides, almost like you do in extra time, at halftime. But another 15-minute halftime, came back out, and we did have a nice goal from Alonso Martinez, 2-1 victory, and that puts NYCFC at 8th place in that 9-team playoff. Now, for NYCFC's advantage, whereas much of the league has played 27 matches, they are only, and that's Red Bull included, they're only on 25 matches with 41 points. So with 2 games in hand, Columbus has played 26. Miami has only played 24, but everyone else has played 27. That's ahead of them. So it does look like if NYCFC under Pascal Janssen can keep this trend going and pick up some more points, that not only would they make the playoffs, but they might be in line for not being in that play-in match and
A couple home matches.
yeah. So to ride that crest, where they are now, I think is been great for NYCFC. They obviously have been up and down early in the season. They had no Matt Freese or Alonso Martinez during Gold Cup, so it's tough to lose your star forward and your star goalkeeper. But they have just kind of kept on humming, and we've talked about it multiple times here. MLS just
Get to
tread water, get into the playoffs, get hot at the right time, and see what happens. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're hoping for Red Bull to do. I mean, City's good. City's right in all cylinders. And I think they have cleaned up themselves on the attacking side of the situation
yeah,
a lot.
I do hope so. Honestly, Pereira, who I always kind of thought of in my mind as more of a defensive minded player, is more of a six.
He's coming out.
He's been
Yeah.
coming out and attacking well, and
I think that is one of the biggest changes because he's being that connection that actually creates danger onto the forward field. Like there was always that, like I was saying last year, they will get there, they will get to the last quarter of the pitch, and then they just
Yeah.
throw a wild
and
pass
he's
to
got that.
nobody.
He has the engine too that they need. Listen, I love Maxi Morales.
Yeah.
He's 38.
Yeah,
He's
up
a
there already.
wizard on the ball, but
Off the ball,
he's not. He's not. First of all, he's 5'4", 5'5", so he's not an imposing figure. He's not going to get stuck in on tackles. He's not going to win aerial duels.
Yeah, no. You're right.
But that pairing of Maxi and now Andres Pereira,
It's working.
they might be onto something here.
Yep.
So
I agreed on that.
I think that could be a very dangerous midfield tandem as the season progresses. So we look forward to seeing more of that. Obviously, even though I am an NYCFC season ticket holder, I think the league is in a better place when New York and New York are all playing well.
Yep.
So we want to see the Red Bulls in the playoffs as well. But it'll be a good spot to be in on this stretch run where every match is going to matter, and that's not something you often see in the MLS with the playoff system the way it is. So I'm liking it. I'm embracing it, and hopefully we have some good pivotal matches, including a Hudson River Derby coming up. So
yeah, absolutely, and we can repeat another final just like last year, Red Bull, conference final, Red Bull City. That'll be good to see.
So, all right, let's jump over to see what's on tap. Just a selection of some of our matches, some of which actually this week might be most of which in the tap room, but we have the Friday match. So, and it looks like the Premier League is kind of taking a book out of American sports and trying to add more time slots and get more games on the national stage. So Friday, West Ham, Chelsea, a London derby. Both teams with obviously unfavorable results after the first week, so they will both be looking, to get back in stride. And we'll probably be able to throw that one on. Maybe we'll do an early open for that as we, at least for the first half before we open up.
Oh yeah.
Saturday morning, Bournemouth hosting Wolves. So both teams who have conceded 4 goals in week 1 will be at it. So, again, we're not, big on betting here, but, you might want to take the over on that one.
Absolutely. No, I don't even know, to be honest, because Wolves Bournemouth is always a grinding match.
It is.
Man.
It is.
It is just tough.
I think a lot of it is the extension of all these other tournaments and the shorter off season and the lack of cohesion. I mean, the newest Bournemouth defender, Diatike, just got signed, 4 or 5 days ago, and he was starting in the squad for Bournemouth on the weekend. So
when United, Šeško had not played a single game in the preseason, and they brought him on for 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. There's just trial by fire, basically. Everybody's just getting their hands dirty as soon as they can because there is no time.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of which, there
is no time.
Yeah, I just want to check because I know Grealish was announced to be in the squad for Everton today. He was not starting, but I do want to see, now that we're into the second half, if he got any time yet.
Time? Yeah. No, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one for Bournemouth because
still 0-0.
Yep, still scoreless, and Grealish is on.
Okay.
So we'll see if we have any.
So I'm hoping for a tie, maybe a 2-1 victory on that end. I don't think there's gonna be like a 5.
Oh, in Bournemouth Wolves? Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm thinking, close 2-1 match, 1-1 tie.
Yeah, well, I was very surprised at how many goals were scored opening weekend. I thought a lot of teams were just going to kind of
you said that.
See, take the lay of the land. You don't want to fall behind. They always say, you can't win the league in August and September, but you can sure as hell lose it.
Yeah.
And, we'll see what happens. But I was surprised with how open much of the games were.
Well, I mean, if you notice, it was all those teams that were very doubtful and they were in lower positions last year, the ones that came out guns blazing, other than Liverpool, you know what I mean? Tottenham, all these teams that struggled last year, they want to start with the right foot. They want to start scoring as much as they can. They want to win for as much as they can. They want to prove that last year was a fluke.
Well, again, all eyes are going to be on them.
Yeah,
right.
They got to show up.
All right. So after the Bournemouth match, we will have Arsenal hosting the aforementioned Leeds, who is still scoreless with Everton. On the heels of that 1-0 victory on the road, they're back at home at the Emirates against a newly promoted side. Do we just chalk that up? Should be and will be is two totally different things. But should it be an easy win for them?
It should be a 3-0 win. Should be, again, Emirates is going to be buzzing.
Yeah.
North London's going to be buzzing. The team's going to be looking for a better result.
Yep.
Especially with how they played against Manchester United. Hopefully,
you mean not obviously, just in terms of style of play and cohesion.
Correct. They wanted a better showing.
Yes.
We'll put it that way.
100%. No, I agree with that. And they better do it. They should do it. It's like you said, it's a newly promoted team. They're not expected to win any significant matches. So this is the time.
Yeah.
This is the time to stop those silly ties.
Prove that you can get it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. You won't win the league in August, but if for whatever reason this is a draw and they don't win the league or they miss out by a couple points, this will be one of those matches where if only we beat Leeds at home, in August.
Yeah, David Raya gets another Gold Glove. And yet he's sitting there, not Gold Glove, but like another, goalkeeper of the year.
Yep.
But still, they get 13 ties. It's like, how
from your other?
I don't get it.
Well, to be fair, you can't put ties on the goalkeeper. I mean, he's not Mikel Merino scoring goals up top.
But that's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at the fact that like you've had clean sheets. You've proven that the defense can hold. But then you've also proven that the defense can crumble.
And matching the energy or matching the performance of your defensive teams.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you always get the defense, you give them all the blame when there is a loss. You attack them, you call their names, but nobody really complains when an attack is not delivering and you're getting tie after tie after tie after tie.
I will tell you this. So, like, again, like you said in soccer, they don't really give credit where credit's due, especially like when a defender makes a stop or something. You don't really hear like, oh my God, what a great stop, stuff like that. Arsenal fans do, right? They love their defense. They love Saliba. They love Gabriel, right? They're fighting to keep Saliba because he's Real Madrid is trying to poach him as much as they can.
Yes.
They love Gabriel. They love Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly just signed a new contract with them. Calafiore is back there now. And it's just amazing. Ben White, right? They love their defense. They cheer for the defense. And that's why when they get those ties, they're like, what happened? Where did we go wrong that allowed that 2-0 win become a 2-2?
Become a 2-2 tie.
And live updates here. Look at this. We're breaking barriers here. A soccer fan walks into a bar. A live update, 84th minute penalty goal for Leeds United to go up 1-0 over Everton.
Oh, damn.
Does that change your perspective?
No. It was a penalty. All right, somebody fell in the box. Listen, you can't touch anybody in the box.
Somebody pinched somebody's butt in the
I'm sorry. I put my leg out and you threw your whole body over it.
Well, we were seeing that we saw that a lot during the weekend. Like there was a couple of penalties that we were like, yes, they are penalties, but is it really?
Let them play. Let them play.
Yeah, I don't know.
Penalties are penalties. They open my eyes up to that.
We
were talking about
the red card.
The red card of Diaz, no? No.
I can't remember.
Luna.
Diego Luna. There you go.
Diego Luna's card. It was it was a fight between number 6. What was his last name? I can't remember.
I'm
but it was
blanking
Luna
on it.
and number 6 of the opposing team, and they went at it the entire match. And Luna got expelled on some silly foul that they both committed a foul. That David opened my eyes to that. Yeah, Luna pushed the other guy. It was an attacking play. If Luna doesn't pushes this guy, he goes and scores, or at least he gets the ball with a great attacking position. That happened. Referee didn't call it.
Yeah.
This guy got angry, grabbed Luna, put him on a headlock, and literally slammed him to the ground.
Yeah, listen, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I always have a feeling that when you see a late game penalty, listen, they're all pushing forward, they're all pushing hard, they want to get the ball in the box.
Yeah.
When you see a late game penalty, someone was like, "This team needs to win. This team needs to draw." Like, listen,
All right, get your tinfoil hats out.
It's
We've got it.
on, right? It's on.
Listen, I put mine every other week, dude. Dave is my voice of reason.
I know, yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Because
no, that would've been-
you go back and forth on neither side with the
I don't
conspiracy.
care who's who. I'm just like, yeah, I just jump sides.
All right. Well, let's finish off our Saturday, 3:30 p.m. on the 23rd. Levante hosting our newest supporters group with Barcelona. Again, on the heels of that quote unquote disappointing 3-0 victory at Mallorca. Again, for those of you that don't know, I think Barcelona's first 3 or 4 matches will be on the road as they do some more renovations to the Camp Nou. But I think, Levante should be another team that.
It's actually not, dude.
Well, we'll see.
Levante knows how Barcelona plays. It's one of those kind of regional matches, I think. I mean, I don't know if they're
Well, we'll see.
neighbors or
maybe we'll
rivals.
add that into our predictions for the
I
weekend.
definitely would.
So,
That's going to be a difficult game for Barcelona.
All right.
Might tie it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to lose because I don't think they're going to lose. That would be
How were the
facetious of me.
predictions, by the way?
well, I was gonna save that for our Saturday morning show, but we have our current leader in Aaron gloating over here. So let's
And
bring
that's
them up
why
real quick.
I'm here on the dark corner with my,
it's
ghostly
the-
light.
It's the hangover.
I'm
It's like
relegated.
we finished the weekend. Let's see how the
Let's see
final
what we've
points
got
line out.
here.
Amen to that.
So Aaron is in the lead with 8 points, and Diego and I are tied on 5. What the record shows is out of a possible 15. So none of us are really lighting the world on fire.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Somebody make better calls than somebody else right now.
Yeah.
And I will pass Dave, and he will be in the dark corner one of these days. We'll see. when.
you love it over there in the relegation zone.
Oh, this is my couch, baby.
All right. So the 3 matches that we picked for predictions were Brighton and Hove Albion versus Fulham, Mallorca hosting Barcelona, and the United Arsenal match. So Aaron, who's in first place with 8 points, picked a 1-1 draw with Iwobi scoring for Fulham. So he got 3 points for that. For the record, you get 1 point for picking the correct result. 2 additional points for a correct score, and another 2 additional points for the correct scorer. So a max of 5. So 1-1 draw with Iwobi scoring was 3. He picked Barcelona to win 3-0 with Lamine Yamal scoring. That's 5 points there. And then he picked a 2-2 draw with Jokic scoring for Arsenal. So scoreless on that one. Diego picked a scoreless draw with Fulham and Brighton. So he got 1 point there. He picked a 3-2 victory for Barcelona with Lamine Yamal scoring. So 3 points there. And he is the lone person to pick Arsenal to win. He picked a 2-0 victory with Jokic scoring. So
does this end the Diego curse?
well.
Please. Let's not jinx me.
Let's
not jinx me.
One time is a coincidence. We need a trend.
We need to start to get it right.
So that's 5 points for
So
Diego. I picked Brighton to win 3-1 with Ruder to score. So I went scoreless on that one. I picked Barcelona to win 3-0 with Rafinha to score. I cleaned out all 5 points there. And then I picked a 1-1 draw with Bruno to score, in parentheses on a penalty. So I went scoreless on that one. So honestly,
wouldn't you get in an extra point if he gets it on a penalty?
No. It's funny. We obviously
If you
Diego.
call the play, I mean, if you call the play exactly.
Yeah.
Diego and I are tied, but Diego actually picked all 3 correct results. So I don't know.
That's what I'm
Maybe
saying,
I
yeah.
should be on the couch right now.
And next week
I
again.
got lucky with just one 5-pointer, and
Exactly.
We,
But
we also
tiebreak.
discussed what happens if you do decide to say that it's a 0-0 draw, because you can't choose a score.
yeah. So we might
We'll look into something
midweek we will
Correct a little
we'll
bit.
have a little team powwow here and see if we want to change the rule. But
yellow cards.
instead of just picking no scorer, we thought, well, actually Aaron thought maybe we just pick a player to receive a yellow card.
There you go.
So
So if you just
we'll
are you-
workshop that within the group, and then we'll see if we want to make
and
that
once we
change.
clean up all these little details with the rules, we will invite you guys to put
Yeah.
in some results and some predictions as
Yep.
well. You know what I mean? Let's get you guys involved as well.
I like it. All right. So back to the business at hand. We still have to
Which
finish
business? All business.
our what's on tap here. So Sunday, in their first ever match in their new home stadium, Everton will be hosting Brighton and Hove Albion with Seagulls on Hudson on full display. Everton, by the way, still trailing 1-0 in the 93rd minute now. And I think that stadium is going to be buzzing for Everton.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see on the heels of a a draw where they could have or should have won, if Brighton can step up in that atmosphere and get more points.
Yeah, but that's what they need to do right now. But that was the problem last year as well. All these matches that were kind of like not super high profile, but they were tense matches. They did not get those results. That was one of the common denominators with them last year. Couldn't get those results with hyped up matches.
Yeah,
Not even big matches, just hyped up matches. New matches, new teams, all these things. They just couldn't get it. So if they start getting those results, maybe we'll see a new Brighton coming up.
Maybe. All right. So let's finish up. One for the road. You guys have anything for us?
No, we're good.
I know it's off subject, but apparently the MLB might be restructuring team locations and things, so we might be seeing a new teams playing other teams in the World Series. Might be something different.
You know what? I'm all for it. I love the single table format of most of Europe, where I know in Carabao Cup the first couple rounds are regionalized north and south, but then they go back into a full draw. I think the sport is better when you start a competition, any 2 teams could face off in a final.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine, to use that exact example, a baseball thing. Imagine a Red Sox Yankees World Series.
Oh, that will be incredible.
They are also discussing like the Super Bowl and like Champions League and all that. Instead of it being a home and away style series, it is one location, 7 games.
For 7 games?
Oh.
Okay. I think
that changes the whole
I think
concept of-
at least for now, I think that'll be a bridge too far. I don't see that happening where, especially with baseball, where the fields are so different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a football field is a football field, no matter where you are. A soccer field, obviously you have minimums and maximums, but it's still the same rectangle.
Well, again, that's why like some of the rumors are, again, is like anything from how the FA Cup's always played at
Wembley,
Wembley, to build a stadium, right? The joke was Cooperstown. It's gonna be too cold in October, but October, November. But if like they do the Little League World Series, it's at one location.
Williamsport.
If they build a stadium specifically for that,
well, that will be now that the competition for that will be
which
market will be the one serving that.
I don't like it, honestly. I still want to see, I think baseball is a little bit different in that sense, where it's so much of it is predicated on a 3-game set or a best of 7 series.
Correct.
Because you have these pitching staffs and this and that and a lot of other variables. I would still like to see a traditional home field advantage.
Yep.
No, you know what? Actually, like you said before,
A compromise. I would take a rotation, kind of like the Super Bowl, where it's in,
Different
well in
places.
advance, but it's
Correct.
in a
Correct.
team's home stadium.
That is the main rumor.
Yeah.
Is that you'll still know where it's going to be. However, it is going to be, like you said, 5 years out. It's going to be at this location.
So we'll know it's going to be in
Yeah.
Houston in 2029 and
All right,
Boston in
It
2030.
also decreases how long the World Series is going to be, right? Because
You
now
don't have
you're
the
no
travel
longer, You're no
days.
longer traveling. You could do 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off,
Yeah.
2 on, 1 off, and if you make it to Game 7, it's that final game after the day off.
Man,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, I just logistically I don't know, in terms of, the fan bases and this, and I think it's.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm sure, if there's money in it, they'll find a way to get it done.
But again, the biggest news is the restructure. That's
No,
Yeah,
no,
the
that
no,
was-
it's cool.
they're
I
gonna do
listen.
that.
We've talked about structural changes to competitions. Whether it's Leagues Cup, whether it's the Club World Cup, whether it's
Everything that has a playoff.
the new Champions
Yeah.
League format. So far, by and large, those changes have been for the better.
Positive, yeah. You're right.
But that doesn't make them infallible when they're ultimately reaching for more money.
Yeah.
So, all right, my one for the road. It is not fully fleshed out, but it is live now. Actually, I should have changed it on the ticker below as well. We'll do that for Saturday. But CDU Newburgh officially has a website now, www.cdunewburgh.com. For those of you that don't know, Newburgh does have an H on the end, so it's NEWBURGH. And that will start to become a hub for us to, the watch party calendar, any other events that we have going on, any inquiries that you want to make to, for email, it'll have like you'll be able to see all our social media stuff, Instagram, YouTube, all of that. We'll have links to the Discord in there. So it makes it much easier for you to join. So all that good stuff. So we're thanks to you and your interest and everything else that we have going on. We are joining the 21st century with our own website now, and just one of many other exciting things to come. So hopefully we'll be able to keep dropping news for you. Speaking of dropping news, Leeds and Everton literally just went final. Leeds with a 1-0 victory at home. So not for anything. Again, we're going off on tangents here, but opening weekend, 2 of the 3 promoted sides have claimed victories.
Yeah.
So maybe they will buck that trend of the last couple of years of newly promoted sides going right back down.
Hey, that we can only hope. It will make the things much more competitive, and it will push the mediocre teams to strive to do better.
Yeah.
Because right now they're still in the same boat. They're like, all right, well, these new teams don't have the money, they don't have the resources, they don't have the players, so we're gonna still suck a little longer, and nothing is gonna happen.
No, without a doubt. So either way, that's going to do it for us. Please, on YouTube, give us a share, like, and subscribe. On Instagram, throw us a follow and reach out to us there. You can reach out to us via email,
Here or
Discord.
here or here.
Check out the new website as well. Let's get the numbers going there. And did I miss anything? Discord,
No,
Instagram,
no,
Facebook.
just-
Facebook. There you go. Get on Facebook.
There you go.
And we'll see you probably Saturday morning for our preview show. So thanks again for listening. Thanks for watching. Thank you on Diego and Aaron's behalf as well. Thanks for coming on to the show again, week in, week out. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Bless up, guys. Good night.